Hey, Dad, that's a cool whip. Ah, I thought you couldn't understand me!
This is Khora.
I'm just calling to say
Khora.
Was the lie you BDSM fanatics. How the hell are ya? This is the ultimate Domina waifu Warframe, Khora. Khora can be farmed at regular sanctuary on slot missions and is clearly a worthwhile Warframe when it comes to this Willowsmith knockoff. It will not matter that you are a new player or a boomer veteran. Khora will dominate the battlefield and is very easy to comprehend, even though she is often reduced to press 1 to win by most YouTubers. In this video, I will show you nerds how Khora works and make it crystal clear how to use her like a freaking beast. On a side note, my analytics show me that 90% of you who consume my crappy channel are not subscribed. Go ahead and smack that sub button sensually and also press that stupid bell too, since YouTube coding will not let you know about new uploads for some reason. Now let's get into it. First ability.
Bitch.
Bane of Jesus. Khora casually decides to cosplay Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman
meow.
and cracks a whip at whatever you are aiming at. The whip's target area will cause a small explosion that deals AoE damage to the area, which is fantastic to fuck up groups of enemies. In terms of use, this is pretty straightforward. It would be beneficial for you to hop into the air and aim glide when adjusting enemy attitudes with your whip. This way you will have a better view of hordes and can aim your whip way more effectively. When it comes to damage, there are a few misconceptions out there, but it is fairly straightforward. Your whip will adopt whatever mods you have on your melee, but not the melee innate stats, which is good because it means you can use whatever melee you want. The next rule is which mods work and which ones do not. In short, everything that increases base damage will work. So elemental mods, pressure point, critical chance and critical damage mods and so on. Anti-faction mods and condition overload do not work on the whip. It will also adopt whatever elemental types you have equipped on your melee. So say you have a melee modded for viral and heat, then the whip will deal that damage as well. By the way, a fun damage type to use for the whip is gas, but it will not be the best in terms of raw damage. You should know, still satisfying though. Damage-wise, the arguably most important thing to know is that Whipclaw also scales off of your combo counter. So this thing down here, the higher that combo counter is, the more damage your whip will deal. Allow me to assure you though, it does not require a super expensive min-maxed build to make this whip effective. So do not feel pressured to go overboard unless you want to. That is all you need to know about this. Easy, right? Cool. Let's move on to Khora's second ability.
Fuck this shit! Whoop, whoop. Oh! 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 Oh my god damn it!
Sexy barbed wire, Ensnare, is one of the most overused helmet subsumables Warframe has ever seen. For good reason. Khora expresses her love for bondage and ensnares a single target who is then inflicted with coiling barbed wires that will snatch up enemies within range and pull them in for a cuddle session. Every so often, the ensnared group will seek out fresh meat to pull in until its time runs out. This is phenomenal crowd control and can be exploited to stay alive fairly easily. You should definitely cast this ability frequently and thereby make sure that everything on the map is pretty much helpless. A synergy you must know here is that ensnared enemies will take double damage from your whip, which makes your first and second ability your bread and butter. That's all to this ability, so let's get cracking with the next one.
Wet ass pussy.
Pocket Valkyrie. Khora has a pet Valkyrie as a permanent companion, who, just like Valkyrie, has an attitude problem. Venari has 3 modes which you can cycle through by pressing the third ability button, Heal, will cause your pussy to heal you or whoever has the lowest health in your squad. You can also force heal by casting on a targeted panel, or aim at nothing and cast it on yourself. Attack mode is, well, exactly that. Your crazy cat goes crazy for no reason, just like cats in real life would. And then attacks nearby enemies at random or whichever enemy you command her to attack. While in this mode, your kitty cat will also use Ensnare on enemies, albeit way less effective than your own, but it's something. Overall, this ability is not very useful due to pets in Warframe being retarded, and your own Ensnare is 1000 times better. The final mode is Protect, another cool idea that is ultimately useless. Kitty Cat shows that she has spent way too much time playing Guild Wars 2 alone in her room while Mommy Khora was out in the kitchen getting freaky with Mac Daddy Hero. Just like the raptor in Guild Wars, Venari does a stupid looking spin attack that knocks down enemies one at a time and disarms them. Not only does this ability suck donkey balls mechanically, but it is again a far cry from your main crowd control ability, Ensnare. It's a cute gimmick at best, which is why the only one I can truly recommend is the heal. This also means less stress for you since you do not need to worry about all three modes. Just like any other pet, you can modify Venari and even equip a separate pet in addition. That's pretty cool. If only pets in Warframe weren't dumbass liabilities. You can modify your pets however you wish since it will not really matter. Now let me just make this clear, if you are lazy and prefer a less engaging play style, then use the healing Venari. But when you feel comfortable and you have a good amount of companions and mods to go with them, then I recommend you try a little hidden trick that is even better. Step 1. Set your kitty cat to attack mode and make sure you have Hunter Recovery and Pack Leader. Step 2. Grab whichever second pet you like. I suggest a Smita Kavat though because of them sexy bonuses. Make sure this pet also has Hunter Recovery and Pack Leader equipped. Step 3. Use Venari in attack mode. Okay, so now what is happening is both of your pets heal your snowflake ass when attacking enemies, and every melee attack from you heals them. This effect applies to your whip as well, so you will constantly be healing each other and neither you nor your pets will ever die. You're welcome. Okay, let's move on to the final ability, Strangledome aka Pinhead's bedroom.
I am so exquisitely empty.
This thing is pretty straightforward. Khora remembers her true identity as a spider rather than a crazy cat lady and deploys a dome of BDSM chains. Enemies that are within reach are captured and pulled into the dome where they get hung up like a pig at a butcher's shop. While hanging around, the enemies take damage over time. If you are looking for crowd control, then you needn't do anything more. You could cast your second ability on any of the fools hanging to pull in even more dummies if you feel the need. But usually this will not be absolutely necessary since the Grenier beef jerky caught in your dome actually draw enemy aggro as well, so their homies will shoot at them. If you are out for blood however and wish to kill them, then whip the crap out of any enemy in the dome. This has a synergy, which is that every enemy within the dome will take half of the whip's full damage. Abilities, weapons and even your companions however will deal double their damage to victims stuck in your kinky spider web. This makes for a great choke point or panic button in case you find yourself in a pickle. So there you have it. This is how Khora works. She is not difficult to master at all. Quick recap for the play style: cast your 2 on an enemy to crowd control and pull groups into tight clusters. Pro tip: cast again on enemies far away out of range of the initial Ensnare. This will cover way more ground and help your agenda of victimizing the enemies. When Ensnare accumulates a decent-sized cluster, whip the shit out of them with your first ability. Do this when your melee is at 12-time combo for maximum damage. Cast Heal Venari whenever you need an immediate heal, if you are a noob. Otherwise use attack mode and Hunter Recovery, and use your fourth ability whenever you feel a need. Here is my main build. Use this as a template and feel free to perfect it to your liking, as is. I assure you this will destroy Steel Path easily and is a very enjoyable fun build. But do whatever you want. In any case, be sure to like and subscribe to this shitty channel. And then fuck off.